Good evening. This is Liz, and tonight I'm going to be reading one of my own poems based on Dante's Inferno, and it is titled The Descent. I hope you all enjoy it. The pilgrim had strayed from the path and found himself quite lost, when with the poet Virgil he soon found their paths to cross. The latter offered to the man a safe way to the Lord, since now the path to paradise his life could not afford. For now the path is blocked by three ferocious beasts, who now had all their horrid features bared, so Dante made his vow. He asked the poet why he came to help him get to heaven, why he of all men had come to help him find the bread unleavened. A beauty true to God sent me, the poet then explained, who had the name of Beatrice to me this quest ordained. The pilgrim then rejoiced, this woman who he loved, who had of her kind heart his son to her living beloved. The poet Virgil to assist the pilgrim on his quest, to find his way to paradise, this way he then was pressed. To get the paradise, the poet then had to guide Dante through hell, that deep harsh inferno, but at no andante. For hell is no place to linger in any one area, for if one to stay in hell, they'd only find hysteria. So down into the depths they went, into that inferno, into the place where in the depths are many a deep furrow. The two men then found the gate to that dark hell, and read, "Lose all hope, ye who enter here, above the gate ahead." When the duo had found the gates, they soon found the sinners who had in their life been indifferent bound. Horrid screams they all let out, for on their hides did sting a swarm of hornets who don't cease eternal pain to bring. They found the ferrymen to the deep river of the dead, which separated hell from earth, where the damned do tread. After a deep nap, the pilgrim then did meet the sinners who were not baptized in Jesus Christ, or of whom never knew. There he did meet great wise men, philosophers of old. This sight in hell's first circle was quite much to behold. Then onward did the pilgrim and his dead master go, to meet King Minos, who would judge each sinner where to throw. For with his tale did this old king send each sinner to suffer in their particular part of hell, and did not their falls buffer. In the second circle of this raging inferno raged a howling hurricane, where lustful sinners go. For those suffering were blown around like leaves on twister's wind, and here did our brave pilgrim meet a couple with shared sin. Francesca and Paolo were the names of these two lovers, and when our pilgrim asked, they shared their story of love discovered. The pilgrim fell asleep again, and when he did awake, he met three-headed Cerberus, and caution here did take. In this third dread circle of this deep dark inferno lay the gluttonous in life, and one called Chiaco. The man told our fair pilgrim of the fates of his home city, as his fellow sinners of glutton bore their punishment gritty. For here they all are doomed forever to lay down, to bear the falling snow and ice and rain of color brown. And when this man did stop speaking, our pilgrim urged him on, wishing now to understand the fates of others anon. Chiaco only said that they lay further down below, for deeper guilt did these men have, and then he spoke no more. Our pilgrim then did ask his guide of these men's future fate, that what would happen when the Lord his return to earth did make. The poet Virgil then did say of them, while they will never be so perfect as to see their God, they still nearer will be. Our two travelers then went on, and did dark Plutus meet. The poet did turn him aside, left him to his angered heat. They then soon saw those who in life did hoard and squander their wealth, who roll great boulders at each other, regardless of the other's health. In the muddy, rainy bullshed they are together bound, torturers to each other now, and forever here are found. Onward to the river Styx the travelers now go, and even here find sinners whose suffering is woe. For these are the wrathful and the sullen, who when alive did rage out at the entire earth, or did inward anger drive. The ones whom anger overcame tore each other apart, with hands and feet, and with their teeth did tear the flesh and heart. The ones who sullen at the world were in their life are now beneath the water of the Styx, and sigh always to scale. In a boat did Pelagius row our two travelers across that river to the wrathful, to hell city of Dis. At the way a dread Disgate, the Harpies did call on Medusa to harm our fair pilgrim and to turn him into stone. At Virgil say he closed his eyes for to protect himself, till heaven's messenger did come to open the gate to the next shelf. They travelled onward into hell, and heretics did meet, who were in open great like chests to burn and painfully bleed. Baronata he did meet, an old enemy of his. Carefully he spoke to him, but when he could, left his. Onward the two men did go, but due to awful smells, they did somewhat delay their travels until they could stand stink spells. Here Virgil does tell Dante what to expect next. The violent to others, self and God, into their fate are hexed. When they did move down the slopes, a bloody river they found, that boiled and burned within its steps, the first of the violence bound. The centaurs guarded these violent, and did the travelers question, but once explained the reason, they did offer no aggression. The poets are carried cross the stream, and find a deep, dark wood, where the souls of suicides now as these trees stood. The harpies here are all content to tear off branches, leaves, and let the trees scream out in pain at the ever-hungry harpies. Hellhounds here do chase others who squandered their own, the goods that in their life they had, and no mercy to themselves shown. Onward to the burning sands the travelers did go, where rain of fire does fall down, and torture sinners low. And here the blasphemous do lie, the sodomites do run, and here the users huddle, but of relief find none. As they pass the sodomites, another teacher they meet, Ser Brunetto he's called in life, and was to Dante sweet. They walked and spoke together a while as onward they did pass. When time did come to bid farewell, the tutor kept on mass. They kept onward, meeting others on their way downward, to the 8th circle of hell, and to Geryon toward. This beast then carried them downward to the next circle down, with multiple pouches, here each one a punishment owns. The fraudulent and seducers did walk in separate files, each driven by a demon black with lashes and not smiles. The ones who said false flatteries during their time on earth were upside down in excrement, as foul as their words were worth. Then these two men soon came upon those who sold holy things, for whatever reason that they had, but now burned in hell's rings. Their punishment here is to sit upside down to burn their heads in deep bowls of false fonts until the next one comes. The next pocket these two men passed held those who wished to see the future, whether theirs or not, but this could not foresee. Their heads are now on backwards, and backwards they must go. They who once tried to look too far, now only the past must know. The next pouch holds boiling pitch as black as darkest night, and it is here that all grafters boil with an added plight. For they are guarded by black demons, pitchforks do they wield, and tear apart the sinner who forgets to keep concealed. The demon Malakota then charged in 10 demons to go, with our two holy travelers the way they claimed to know. As they did go by boiling pitch, a sinner from Navarre did trick the demons to let him go, and lead back in the tar. The 2 demons then began a fight, and fell into the pitch. A barb rescue was then ordered, our men snuck out the niche. Quickly were these 2 men chased onward to the next, and here found sinners walking round, led robes around their necks. Hypocrites were these punished, and all now walk on. The high priest Caiaphas, who did condemn the world, the Lord anon. Onward did our 2 men climb, until they reached the pouch that they needed to go through, and did not one moment slouch. This bulge held in its dark depths those who were all thieves. They are tortured all by snakes, and bitten till they're dust. Dear Dante did meet from Florence a thief nicknamed the Beast, who cursed our hero and the Lord, and by the snakes was seized. He soon met others who were forced to become reptiles too, to bite the other sinners there, their human forms to renew. The other travelers did go on down into that next large pit, where those who gave evil counsel are here forced to submit. They all are bathed in fiery tongues cannot at all be seen, but here the flames that tortured them also act as a screen. Here the two pilgrims did meet Ulysses Diomedes, two souls who are forced to share a flame for all their deeds. He then met Count Guido, who was from Romagna, Italy, who spoke with him briefly about the past and present bitterly. Onward to the next dark patch our travelers did go. They see the ones who once the seeds of discord there did sow. Among the guilty punished here were Muhammad and Ali, forever damned, torn asunder, limb from limb in this dark alley. Forced to walk on a round track, these sinners are forever. Their wounds all heal, but a demon again makes their limbs severed. Virgil then urged him onward to the last pouch before, the final circle of their journey, for time was running short. So onward to the next Bolgia our two pilgrims went, where those who falsified their works or words in life are bent. Here they are so punished by foul stimulation, and all run around to tear at others punished in this bloody band. First the alchemists they met, who turned cold lead to gold, or at least attempted to, now banished to this fold. Then came those who made themselves to look like others, using this to trick people, and now forced to limb between their looks. The others with them are also those who counterfeited money, who have to lay down in one place, and unbearably thirsty. The last of those in this Bolgia are those who who share their fate with counterfeits. Then Dante left with his guide. They soon arrived at the central pit, the entrance to the end of that deep dark inferno where they had to descend. Guarding the well that led to that floor were those who were called giants, the ones who rage against the gods, and here are always sent. Here the guide persuaded one called Antaeus to assist these two to hell's last dark level, and thus onward to persist. On landing, the living pilgrim found himself on solid ice, the final circle of that deep hell punishing the worst vice. For here the treacherous do freeze within the icy lake, the ones who preferred treachery and with this lives to take. Those who were traitors to their blood had only head and neck above the freezing lake and in the icy wind in check. The traitors to country only had heads above the ice to speak, the sins they did commit in life, and here their pain do shriek. Two souls here are always bound, for they share the same sin, although an extra insult to the wound there in their lives had been. Count Ugolino was the name of one of those damned souls. The other was an archbishop who shared traitorous goals. The archbishop had in their lives betrayed his partner in crime, locked the count and his family in a tower for all time. Each person in that locked tower died for lack of food, so now does Ugolino gnaw on he who killed his brood. Onward the two travelers went into the howling wind, and here the ones who treacherous were to masters are in ice confined. Wholly they are in the ice, no part is now above, so onward did Dante go through that last icy glove. His eyes on dark Inferno's king did fall with such horror, it stopped poor Dante in his tracks to see the causes disorder. 3 faces vile Satan had, each with a mouth that gnawed on a different special traitor who turned against their God. The center face chewed on the man named Judas Iscariot, who betrayed his master and Lord and took his own life after it. The other faces had the souls of Brutus and Cassius, who betrayed Julius Caesar and forfeited their happiness. Satan did not notice there are travelers at all. He only sat in deepened thought, his wings causing the squall. So onward Virgil helps Dante by grasping the great wing and swinging down to escape hell, while to him Dante clinged. The two men then emerged in a tunnel under Satan's tomb, saw the underside of Lucifer, and came out of the gloom. The two walked by way of a tunnel, upward, now nothing bars their path, so quickly they went right back, and looked upon the stars.